thanks to the support as a channel member, John Howell. Well, this is unexpected. 4 episodes into the series, 3 days into the series, and we might be about to win the league, or at least the first half of the league, the Apertura. So to celebrate, I'm wearing my shiny shirt with sequins on. I know what you might be thinking, Kev, why do you own a shiny shirt with sequins on? I'm going to throw that question right back at you. Why don't you own a shiny shirt with sequins on for when you win the league? 4 episodes into a new series. We can't mess up now, can we? Hello and welcome to part 4 of El Director Deportivo. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we are going to play as many games as it takes to win the Apertura. We're 6 points clear with 3 games remaining, so we could have it wrapped up after 1 game, in which case we'll probably play a second game as well. Since you were last with me, we've not played a huge amount of football, but as you can see, we've not lost any football either. We'd lost against Pumas in the cup in the group stage, but it was a defeat that didn't matter because we've qualified anyway. In the league, the only game we've lost all season is that game in the second episode against Club America, where it was a narrow away defeat. Other than that, we have just been a very, very good side. This is what the league table looks like. We are absolutely dominant. If we have a look at the player profiles, you can see Macias is the top scorer in the division, jointly on 7 goals. Velopondo, Macias, Briseño, the top 3 players in the division. We're just a really, really good team. I don't know if that's translated to the Dream 11. Not so much. Macias is the only one of our players who is in the Dream 11 now. He's considered the second best player in the division, but then our next representative is Velopondo, who can't get into the team. So it's not that we're even massively overpowered. I think I'm just a tactical genius. It's the only explanation for it. There is a little bit of transfer news. I think this is the first episode I've recorded since getting back from my holiday, so I can't know for sure whether we knew we were losing Jesus before I went, but we are losing Jesus. Jesus Sanchez is off to play in Brazil for Flamengo. We're getting £1.3 million for him. And as of now, there isn't a replacement being lined up. So for today, we're playing a winger at right back. Brizuela. Isaac Brizuela, 11 caps for Mexico at 29 years old. Absolutely not a disastrous option there. But he's not really able to get into our team because we are so strong out wide. He's been at Chivas for years. So in the interest of trying to extend his career with us a little bit longer in a world where Antuna and Lainez and Macias are all here as attacking options out wide, we're going to try him at right back. What's almost certainly going to happen is he'll just go to play in China. And that deal will probably go through relatively soon. But in the meantime, let's play him as a right back to at least send a message to my director of football, good old Mike, that we kind of need one. So the team is Rodriguez in goal, a back 4 of Calderon, Briseño, Montes and Brizuela. Molina at the base of the midfield, Velopondo and Gonzalez ahead of him. You can see we've tweaked some of these midfield instructions. Now we've settled on a 3. We've tweaked some instructions just to better suit those players in there. Using an advanced playmaker in central midfield is something I've never really done before. But as you can see, it works. He's averaging an 8.02 in his last 5 games. Lainez on the left, Antuna on the right, and Macias, the best player in the division, up front. The one disappointment I've got this season, Diego Lainez, looking at the comments to the first couple of episodes, this guy is apparently the Mexican Messi. He is the great young hope of Mexican football. I ain't seeing it yet. 12 starts, 1 goal, 1 assist, and a 6.75. He ain't all that. I don't know why Betis paid £13 million for him. You would think he would be the man leading us to glory, but he's really not. He's kind of a passenger in an attack that's led by Velopondo, Gonzalez, Antuna, Macias. It's a strange situation because he's supposed to be the one. But let's get into this game against Santos Laguna and hopefully pick up a win the league, and have a lovely time and justify the sequins on my shirt. I expect you to go out and win this game. Kick off. Let's get stuck into it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, because obviously now this is the first video I'm recording since the series has hit YouTube, which firstly, thank you for the incredible support on these first few episodes. It looks like it has gone down better than I possibly hoped it could. Look at Velopondo. He's a ridiculous man. What a run. Couldn't quite get the shot away, but looked lovely lining up for it. So yeah, thank you for the support. I'm glad you're enjoying it. A couple of people have said, what is the end goal for this series? And my initial thoughts were CONCACAF Champions League. But from reading some of the comments, it seems like the CONCACAF Champions League, no one in Mexico really cares. So I don't know. I don't think that's probably an end goal for us to aim for. The winning the league in Mexico is a big deal, but obviously we can have that wrapped up now. So that can't be an end goal. So I think the end goal has got to be Club World Cup. We've flirted with it a little bit in every series we've done recently. We played it with Apollon, and I mean, we were never supposed to be any good at it with Apollon, but we enjoyed our time there. We did it with Bourne, and it didn't go so well. So I'm thinking building a team of all Mexican players that can compete with the real elite in European football in the Club World Cup, that feels like something that'd be a bit of an achievement. And off the back of that, I guess try and get the Mexico national job. And if we've got a team of players who can win the Club World Cup, maybe they could win the actual World Cup as well, considering it'll be an all-Mexican team. So maybe that's what we'll work towards. But I think we'll just kind of see how things go. I think I mentioned in the previous episode that it's going to work differently to a normal save, because although we look like we've got a fantastic team right now, we don't know if we will next season. Linus, as he's heard me smack talking him before the game and has decided to try and justify his value a little bit and grabs us the immediate reply from the equaliser. Only a second goal of the season for him, but it is a good finish. Velo Pondo definitely involved again, and Linus is in there. So yeah, although we're probably going to win the league or win the Apertura this season, and we look like a fantastic side now, part of the challenge long term might be maintaining a good side in a world where anyone who's any good, like Macias, if he doesn't go to Europe this year, he's going to Europe next year. We're losing Macias. And the same can be said for any of our good young players. So they're all going to leave. And then it comes down to how good our youth development is, and it is pretty good, and how good our director of football is going to be at replacing players as they leave. Now, the first few players that he's brought in, these initial loans, Montes and Gonzalez and Linus, on paper look fantastic, but they are loans. And long term, we could lose all three of them this summer. We could lose Macias this summer and have to almost start again. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be interesting maintaining a challenge towards the top of the Mexican League when I can't do the transfers and I can't sign players who aren't Mexican. So I think we're just going to play it by ear and have a little bit of fun with it. Learn the Mexican League. There might be goals that emerge as we play through it and things that we decide we want to achieve. But yeah, I think Club World Cup seems sensible as a target at this stage. So 1-1 at halftime. Not exactly the scoreline we were expecting from this game. I'm going to tell them that I'm not happy with the performance so far. I don't know how good Santos Laguna are. They are down in 10th place in the league. So you would think they should be a team that we're capable of beating. Looking at how the league table is lining up with the results as they stand, with 2 games to go after this one, with our much better goal difference than everybody else, assuming goal difference is taken into account, and I think it's goal difference. I don't know how you could do it on head-to-head when you only play each team once, but we're pretty much there if we end with a draw. But I think a win will win us the league. And there is Brizuela coming forward from right back, proving that he is still very much an attacking threat to put us 2-1 up over Santos Laguna. And that will mean, as things stand, we will win the Apertura here in the first game. And I guess find out what the board think of that, because the club vision stuff that we've got isn't really based on that. The club vision stuff is based on how we then perform in the playoffs that come off the back of it. So presumably we get a favourable playoff draw for winning the league. But from what I can tell, from talking to people in the comments section, the thing everybody wants is what we're about to do, is to win the league itself. That's what's actually important. It's whether or not Football Manager considers that to be the thing that's important, or whether Football Manager has other ideas. I can't play both of these as a ball-playing defender on cover. That's mad. We are going to take off Macias, though, because we've only got 6 substitutes. Past Kev picked this before I went on holiday, and I'm wondering why he's only picked 6 substitutes and no goalkeeper. I can only assume it was something to do with player registration, player availability, but we're going to have to stick Vega up front. Macias, Linus can go over to that side, And then we can bring on Angulo to play on the left, who doesn't even really want to play there. It's not quite as effective a front three as we had a couple of minutes ago, but Macias is just returning from injury. We can't really risk him picking up a more serious injury. What is going on in the Monterrey and America games? We could probably check in on those because we're 9 points clear with 2 games to play as it stands, but I'm not sure how close those other games are, whether or not things could still change before the end of today's game. Angulo on the left-hand side. He's done quite well to keep hold of the ball there. He looked like he was going to give it away. Calderon on the overlap. He's going to, I assumed was going to look for a cross, but apparently he's just going to run into a right back, have it cleared, and then Meyer is there to just keep the ball moving forward again. Calderon to Angulo. Angulo can't cross, but Calderon's got space, but elects not to cross. Meyer's very far forward here. Molina playing it to Brazil, who's still far forward on this right-hand side. He's won a penalty here, I think. And if we score this, I would like to think a goal here and we're home and dry. This lad looks tall. Who's this? He's massive. That's Montes. I mean, he is big. I don't quite know why he's taking the penalty other than the fact that he's an absolute giant. I need to... Look how big he is. It's like he's playing with a bunch of children. I need to find out how tall this man is, and I need to find out right now. Montes, where are you? He's only 6'3", apparently. That shows you just how short the rest of this team must be, because he looked like Peter Crouch playing with primary school kids. The way that was all lined up there. Right. America are losing 3-0 against Juarez. Monterrey are losing 2-1 at home to Morelia. And I think we've won the Apertura. Let's give everybody a pat on the head. There's no well done, you've won the league message. We've secured a playoff spot. Is that it? Is that all we get? Have we not won the league? Why am I clicking on Gustavo Witt? So, with 2 games to go, we're 9 points clear. So the winner isn't the team that wins the league. You have to then win the playoffs as well. This is like streamer showdown territory. We're just qualifying for the playoffs, but it doesn't really matter. Because if we then mess up in the playoffs, what I need to see is, so Club America last year, where did they actually finish in the league? So in last year's Apertura, they finished second. No, but I don't think winning the league means anything. I think we have to win the playoff. That's a little bit anticlimactic. I feel like I've wasted my sequins now. Let's play the next match. Right, a couple of changes for the Pachuca game then. Godinho comes back in goal. As I still don't know who my best goalkeeper is, so we're going to finish top now. We're trying some things. Beltran is another thing that we're trying. Not necessarily. This one is very much out of the comments section. I'm actually listening for once because this guy apparently is the biggest talent at Chivas in real life at the moment. I've not really seen it, but then I've only started him once this season. He's averaged a 6.77, largely coming off the bench, but we're going to give him a go. Villalpando can sit out a game and have a little bit of a rest. And we're also going to try Vega on the right-hand side again, on the basis that he's 21, he's got lots of potential. Let's give him a little bit of game time in this game that doesn't really mean anything other than form and momentum going into these playoffs, because we know how important. If they've got Colin Kazim Richards playing up front for them, I need to investigate this. Hold on. Hold the phone, everybody. Kick off. I know clicking on him guarantees he's going to score. He's 33 years old now. What an international record for a striker. 2 goals from 37 appearances. What a career. Starts at Bury, Brighton, Sheffield United, Fenerbahce, Toulouse, Galatasaray, Olympiacos, Blackburn, Bursaspor, Feyenoord, Celtic, and then hits Brazil with Coritiba, Corinthians. Then he's in Mexico, Lobos. I've not come across them yet. Veracruz, and now Pachuca this season. That, boys and girls, is a career. 55 goals in 388 games. Yeah, he's still getting people to pay him money to be a striker. Baffling. But there we go. And he will score now. We know he'll score now. What I was saying though about momentum and stuff, we know how important momentum is and how important form is in FM20. So although theoretically this game doesn't really mean anything for the league positions, although this has got itself in the wrong position again, so we can't quite see where we are. We're definitely going to finish top of the league. Macias putting us 1-0 up on 18 minutes, just really trying to hammer that point home. But as we've discovered in this episode, finishing top of the league really doesn't mean anything. We can't rest loads of players because we can't afford to lose these last couple of games and then not have the momentum and the form going into those playoffs. Presumably, and this is absolute guesswork because we are going to continue to figure things out as we go, presumably, as the team that's going to finish top, we should play against the team who finished 8th. Or else there really is no point at all in having the league set up. It may as well just be one big cup. So you'd like to think we'll be in better form than them. And then we should start kind of working our way through this lot. And I'm already calling it. It's likely to be Club America in the final, isn't it? Lainez, there you go. He is the Mexican Messi. He just wanted to show off for you lot. I've called him out on it. And all of a sudden he's decided to start performing. He's been rubbish in all those bits that I've played offline, but I stick the cameras on for him and he wants to have a little bit of a show off. Look at this. This is a thing of beauty, this goal. What a finish. 2-0 to Chivas now. And yeah, I am expecting Club America, as the only team that's beaten us in the league this year, I expect a final against them because that would suggest they're the best team apart from us. They're also our big local rivals. The other team that's beaten us is Pumas, who are down in 10th place at the moment, still in with a chance of finishing in these playoffs. They beat us in the cup, but that was a very rotated team in that cup because it didn't matter at that point. Macias has got his 2nd of the game, his 9th for the season, and we are now 3-0 up against Pachuca and looking very, very good. Lainez very much involved again, but this is a lovely finish from Macias. I mean, the keeper would probably think he should be able to do a little bit better with that. But the point is, the keeper didn't do any better. So it doesn't matter what he thinks. That's my best rock impression that I can do. Right, you might be winning. Doesn't matter. Don't let performance levels drop. Colin Kazim Richards is about to break the curse of naming an opposition striker. And he's not going to get the 57th goal of his career or whatever it would end up being because he's just going to sit. I mean, he is staying on the pitch. They've not taken him off. They've used all their substitutes. We should probably use some of ours. Calderon. We don't really have a left back on the bench. We've got Briseño who can play left back, not very well. Pena can come in and play there, though. We'll put him in as the stopper. Briseño, not a left back at all, but we'll give him a little bit of time there. Velalpondo, I'm just going to put him in there, and it allows us to push Beltran a little bit further forward. And then for my final trick, I guess we're going to bring Antuna on and just keep him in the good form that he's been in so far this season. We don't want to wreck his personal form by not playing. It's likewise with Velalpondo. Don't want to wreck their individual levels of form by not playing them in these run-in games. But 11 points clear now. One more league game to play, but I'm assuming this is where it gets confusing for me. We'll know more once we get into our second season. That's a beautiful pass. Montes back to Pena, and it's a terrible shot that Montes almost made look good, but I think he was offside as part of the move. But when we looked at this pre-season, it looked like the second half of the league, the Clausura, the second league stage, looks like that goes on at the same time as the playoffs. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to have for you tomorrow, whether it's going to be the playoffs, whether it's going to be league games, whether it's going to be a combination of the two. Kazim Richards hits the crossbar, but can't keep it low enough to allow the curse to continue. And we have beaten the curse of naming an opposition player and clicking on them. What a wonderful thing. Tigres, I've been told that's how you say them. They're in the playoffs as well. And there's the confirmation that Lainez is suddenly any good, which is nice. And that is what the league looks like. So 5 of the 8 places are secured. We'll just have another quick, what is average points? Why the hell have we got average points on here? What on earth is this for? I don't know why we need to know this. Why is that important? It must be relevant for something. We just don't know what yet. It's going to be a beautiful surprise. Does it come into play anywhere on here? No, we have no idea. Amazing. So the quarterfinal takes place October. Winners get to the semi-final. No, November. Semi-final. And then the final is on the 13th of December. The clausura starts. It starts in January. So it is definitely going to be playoffs in tomorrow's episode. It looks like, are they all two-legged affairs? Or are they just spread out over a number of days? I guess we'll find out. We're on a journey of discovery here in Mexico, and the important thing is we've made it into the playoffs, so the board are happy. So I'm probably not going to get sacked this year, which is nice. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.